What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? So we are getting ready to discuss the season finale of P-Valley. I have a special guest with me. I invited some other people, but we're going to roll with what we roll with. So we have Retro. TSF Entertainment is coming over to hang out with me tonight.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. So we're going to talk about the season finale of P-Valley. I said y'all wanted me to do a live, so we are here to do it live because I had some things that we need to talk about. So let me share this out first of all. So y'all know the notifications don't always go out, so let me share it out, and then we're going to go ahead and get started because we ain't going to be here all night. I
got my ones ready. I'm at the Pank on Friday night. I'm ready.
You can go on the Cash App them ones right on over here.
No, I need to give Mercedes some of these ones because that dance was everything. So I need to give some of these ones.
Listen, that whole performance, that 7 pounds of pressure and the dance, listen.
Yeah,
I don't have no complaints about that. I ain't even gonna lie. That 7 pounds of pressure and you know, I will say this. Y'all know I gotta give credit where credit is due. Retro.
Hey, really, you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, my mic went out. You said that the song was going to tell the story.
Yep.
It was actually going to say a little bit too much. You did say that, and you said that Mercedes was going to dance to it. You said both of those things, and that's exactly what happened. So,
she murdered that performance.
She did. I mean, Mercedes did that. I'm sorry. She did that. She did that. So yeah, so that's what that was. So well, before we get to that, let's rewind a little bit more. We pick up where we left off in episode 9, where we have Andre and Haley and Andre's wife having this whole confrontation. Haley sort of standing off to the side. Hey, what's up, newbie? Hey, boo. He's sort of standing off to the side. Now, let me say this. From a technical aspect, I'm going to say this, and this is me being, maybe it's me being a little nitpicky and petty, but from a technical aspect, if there is a season 3, I'm going to really need y'all to do a little bit better, P-Valley. And what I mean by that is, I caught a couple of discrepancies with technical stuff. For example, the body doubles. Listen, if y'all gonna hire people with tattoos, I'm gonna need y'all to line the tattoos up.
Exactly.
There were a couple of times that Mercedes was dancing and that tattoo ain't on her ass, and then there's a tattoo that's on her ass, and that sometimes they don't cut it right, and there's difference. In this scene,
go ahead.
Okay, let me just get the examples and then we'll get to it. There's a scene where the scene in this scene right here where Corbin comes in. You know, we saw last week where he literally had blood showing on the back of his shirt from where Uncle Clifford had beat him. But in this scene, the shirt was clean. There was no dried blood. There was no anything. It was like as if there was nothing. And again, that might be petty, but that's the kind of stuff. Like if you're going to show it, you got to show it. And then, and this might be TMI for you, Retro, but in that sex scene a couple of episodes back where Uncle Clifford topped Lil Murder, you could actually see his it's not a thong, but they wear the clear, where it was a clear strap, so you could see it. I mean, and again, it's not a big, like, that's the kind of thing I wouldn't bring it up if I didn't have other examples, but I noticed it and I kind of just let it go because I was like, all right, it's whatever. Because we know that sex scenes, they wear the nude or they wear like you could see it. Okay, you saw the tattoo thing too. You thought I was tripping. Okay. So again, I'm gonna need y'all to clean it up a little bit. Even with Uncle Clifford, when he did his dance, I think all of us knew that was a body double. But again, I'm gonna just need y'all to clean it up a little bit. Because in the first season, I don't think we noticed it like that. And maybe it's me, but I don't think we noticed it like that. But go ahead, what you were gonna say?
I don't think they had as many body doubles in season 1. There was the pole performances in this season were a little bit more extravagant. So I think that's why they probably needed the body doubles. But at least with Uncle Clifford's body double, they're the same complexion. Mercedes' body double, they're not even the same complexion. They're a different skin tone. 2 totally different skin tones. So I think that's what makes it more even obvious that the tattoo was missing, because the girl ain't even the same complexion.
Well, actually, Uncle Clifford's body double ain't the same complexion.
Yeah.
But I just think they did a better job with doing that. But I'm gonna need y'all to clean it up. I also know that the person who played Mercedes, she really had an injury. So I think maybe they used her body double more than they did last season, because Mississippi has a body double, Mercedes has a body double. I'm gonna assume Gidget had a body double last season as well. But I think that they didn't use, I think maybe they used Mercedes body double more than they did last season, because she legit had an injury. Before I go any further, thank you, Yana. I appreciate you for rejoining. I think you were a member before. Thank you for becoming a member again. I appreciate you. Thank you. I don't know what's going on with my equipment over here.
Your sound went out again.
Plugged in.
Okay, you back.
Okay. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you said you've been fighting your bank over your locked car. Girl, listen. That's one thing about them banks, boy. They're anyway. I mean, on one hand, you happy for the security, but on the other hand, it's like sometimes it's at the most inopportune times. But okay. So I mean, that's a nitpicky thing, but I just want to bring that up because I did notice it. And I noticed it in this scene, even the point where I kind of rewound it a little bit, was like, yeah, okay, I see what I see what I thought I saw. But it still don't take away from the fact that was a hell of a dance. That was a hell of a performance by Brandy. You know, you did that. You know, your body double did that. Whoever, it was good. But we see them arguing, and basically they just, she was like, "This your way of getting back at me." They just basically arguing over, I guess, who's cheating the most, the best, whatever. But and then we find out that the election has been called, and I think I wasn't surprised. I think some people might have been surprised, but honestly, I expected Patrice to win. If we're talking about building up a storyline for next season, it's boring if Andre wins. Where's the... Oh Lord, it's boring if Andre wins. So I expected Patrice to win.
I'm glad he didn't win, because Andre's boring. And I wish Haley would have took him with her. I don't want to see Andre anymore. He's bored.
Not only is he boring, but what is his story? Like, there's nothing about his character that I like. Like Patrice, as much as she is a nasty, there's something about her character that it's giving you something. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if nothing else, you love to hate her, but she's giving you something. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to do two things at one time, y'all. He's not holding up his shoe with us. He's doing two things at one time. I knew she was going to win when I said, "I hold so y'all can fly." Y'all know this is the end. They have nowhere to go. Well, Jonathan, let me get to the end, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to tell you. I agree with part of what you're saying, but I don't agree with everything that you're saying. I think that they left, and I'll tell you what storylines they closed and what storylines they left open. I think they left enough storylines open that if they're going to have a season 3, there is enough for a season 3. But they definitely did. They did enough to close it. Like I said in my last live, they closed enough of the storylines that if the show doesn't come back, we're not left with, like last season we had cliffhangers. This season, the biggest cliffhanger. We'll get to that. All right. Hey, sweet pea, where you been, boo? How you doing? So, we found out that Patrice won, Andre lost, but the referendum passed. So that's sort of like the referendum passed, but Andre didn't win. So Haley is like, well, it's a win-win for me because they still got to come and get the paint from me, and now she thinks she can get this big, she gonna get this big payday. So after they get off stage, Mercedes is excited. She got a good payday. She did her dance. She, for her fear, she overcame her fear. They come backstage and they see that Uncle Clifford is crying, child. I told y'all last week that Miss Ernestine won't dead. That the tears are they're happy tears. They're the tears that she didn't die. So he's happy that she didn't die. He said she didn't drink the water. And of course, Lil Murder knew what that meant, but Mississippi was like, what he talking about? He didn't drink the water. What that mean? That mean Miss Ernestine is still alive. So Miss Ernestine is alive, y'all. Let me go to my notes. Where I put my notes? Oh, here. I don't know why my mic keeps going out, y'all. Hold on. Let me. Give me a second, y'all. Let me figure out what's going on with why my mic keeps going out. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, but now my thing went out. Now my camera done went out.
Laura, are you in this equipment tonight?
I know. It's giving me a hard time.
I know.
All right, hold on. Jack backstage. Give me a second. What's up, sir?
What's going on?
You know he gonna come over here to talk about his bottom bitch Autumn all night.
You already know it.
Not the spirit of Montavious and snatched my voice.
I swear.
Give me a second, y'all. I'm having some technical difficulties over here, so give me a second. I'm trying to get my camera back working. My camera's not.
My cigar gone.
I see. Well, y'all just had y'all cigar hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
We just finished it up.
Somebody owe me some money for getting rid of my order.
Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Y'all just can't see me. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna just try to figure out what's going on while I'm still talking. At least y'all can hear me. Okay. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on with my equipment, but hopefully y'all can hear me. Okay. So we're recapping. So we're at the part where Andre is giving his concession speech, but he's saying that he's still moving back to Chuckalisa. Now in his conversation with his wife, I feel like they had a really good, honest conversation where basically he was like, listen, Because she was like, "You trying to divorce me?" And he was like, "Listen, I mean, I feel like this marriage was over when we got married. Like, it was over at the beginning." And his point is valid. He said, "You never really married me. You married who I represented to you, and that's just not who I really am. Right. And I don't know if you're gonna want to be married to the real Andre." Like, I went to Morehouse and I put on a persona of who I was, and I don't know if you really want the real Andre. So I don't know what y'all think about that part.
Not only that, but he also admitted to marrying her for her family's name, legacy.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say for the status.
For the status, and then on top of that, he hid the fact that his father was still alive, and he pretty much erased him. So I mean, he went into the marriage with bad intentions. So I mean, as much as we don't like Brittany, I mean, she's somewhat of a victim too, because I mean, she married someone that she truly didn't know. And then this man is sitting here telling you that he's in love with another woman. Why you?
Yeah, I mean, when she said, "You trying to divorce me?" He was like, "Listen, I'm in love with another woman." I was like, "Oh, snap!"
And you still begging?
Right, like that would have been it for me. You ain't got to worry about me. You ain't got to worry about me. Like, I'd be like, "Okay, cool then." I mean, tell me how you really feel.
Peace.
Yeah, that'd have been the end of that. So anyway, so there's that. We see Mississippi. She got the car. Autumn made good and made sure that the car was there and the trunk was full of money, you know. And she basically set Mississippi up. Now, look. I'm gonna go ahead and just knock this Mississippi thing out to a certain point, not all the way to the end, but we see Mississippi driving around town saying goodbye to every damn body. She didn't say goodbye to the barber. She didn't say goodbye to the house. And I'm thinking to myself, what is wrong with you? Like, you know that you got a tight window to get your babies and get the hell out of town before your husband's boyfriend, because he made that clear that they were not married. Make that before your boyfriend figures out what's going on. I can't believe that she got that comfortable. She had a trunk full of money. That little bit of money you got from Lil Murder, you didn't need that money. Whatever he owed you, you didn't really need it from him. Let's be clear. And even if you did, you could have picked the kids up and still met up with him. The kids could have been in the back seat. Like, you really didn't need. I just thought that was unnecessary. So we see her go pick her kids up, and we find out that the husband, that her stepmama then basically snitched on her, and the husband got the kids.
I'm so tired of that lady. I don't want to see that lady.
The mama.
Yeah. I don't
want to see
that
lady
no more.
I'm over it.
Because let me say this, and this goes under the list of a carryover if there's a season 3. This is what I need the writers to explore for me. And maybe y'all can clear it up for me too. Does she just not believe that this man is as bad as Mississippi, and clearly her sister knows? Does she not care? Does she feel like there's some vengeance? Like, because she was really smiling when she was talking to Mississippi as if she was happy about this. And I'm thinking
there was definitely some bitterness.
It's one thing for you to feel like, oh, well, you know, you made a bad decision and you ran off with the white boy and got pregnant. It's something different for you to know that this woman is getting her head beat in on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying?
She probably always felt like she wasn't a part of the family.
That's exactly
that's probably what it was. She felt like she was a part of the family, and she was pretty much the stepchild. Like, literally, like, she got treated
that's
like
how she was treated.
She was treated
and
like
not only that,
like a stepchild.
Not only that, she never cared for Keyshawn. She never cared for Keyshawn. She never took her in as a daughter. She always looked at her as a burden. And then on top of that, her father is running around with her daughter and everything. So she don't care about her man treating her bad because her old man treated her bad. So
right.
I mean, I get that to a certain extent. I understand that part of it. And maybe it's just me.
And Leah, I agree with that comment. I would like to know where her dad was too, because they just didn't show him anymore. Maybe
it's me giving people way too much credit, but I get all of that. I understand that she's the stepchild. I understand. I get all of that. But I guess a part of me, or the part that I'm trying to understand is there is you're my stepdaughter, I don't even like you like that. And then there's just human decency.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is she, and that's what I mean, that's the part that I need to be cleared up. Like, is she just that evil? Because I mean, I know that evil does exist. I know there are people in the world that are that evil. Is she that evil that she knows Keyshawn is in this abusive situation and she just don't give a fuck? Because it's one thing for her not to care. There's something else for her to create a situation that makes it hard. Like, you know this man is whooping her, and you know you may or may not know the full extent of what's going on, but you gonna turn them kids back over. I don't know. She just that look on her face was just so demonic to me. Like, she was just smiling and she was so happy, and I was like, do you really know how bad this situation is, and you're that evil?
You know what it is?
It might have been I told you so moment.
You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what it is. Not only is that, but we've seen it in other movies, we've seen it in other shows where just like in Tyler Perry's Madea Family Reunion, where the old girl was getting beat up and her mama knew about it and basically was telling her, look, you need to stay with this man because he got money, he got this, he got that. Basically, she's saying if you got a man that's coming home every night, regardless, you need to take care of him. That's the vibe I get from her. Like, she don't give a shit what that man do to her. As long as she got a man at home, she feel like she's complete. And the fact that she don't really love Keyshawn, she's never really showed Keyshawn any type of affection. She don't give a shit about what she's going through. She's not her family. And then
that's
the last part about it is,
Diva One brings up a good point. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead. Finish.
She warned her that night of the prom that, listen, be careful about a man that wants to keep you. So basically, she's pretty much proven a point that, listen, you made this choice, now live with it.
So Diva One brought up a good point. Yeah, Diva One brought up a good point. Okay, so you don't care about Keyshawn, but you don't care about them kids either?
Right. But they're not hers. They're not hers. She don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Nah.
All she cared about is how light-skinned they are and how long their hair is. That's all she cared about.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
She's horrible. I don't want to see her no more.
Well, Yana was like, she knows because of that night Keyshawn went home. Yeah, but Keyshawn didn't even get a chance to explain what the problem was.
Before she turned her away, yep.
Right. She didn't even let her explain, he hit me, whatever. She was just like, I made a mistake and I want to come home. That's what she said. She never said that it was abusive. He hit me. She said, I made a mistake and I want to come home.
Oh, maybe she doesn't know then. If that's the case.
But that's my question. And that's what I'm saying. That goes under the column of, but that goes under the column of, if we get a season 3, I need that fleshed out.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you said, where is her daddy? Like, where is her daddy? I don't know. That just goes under the column of we need more information. And what we know is because of the way things ended, we know that there will be more. We know that there will be more Keyshawn. If there's a season 3, there's no way that there isn't going to be more Keyshawn in season 3. Like, there's no way.
Because they keep showing her and they keep showing her in this sad and solemnly moment. I need to understand what's going on with that sister. I need to understand what's going on with that sister. We know that the daddy was messing with her. We know that the sister is not happy in her situation either. So I need to know, is the sister a part of the same situation where she's getting abused at home or she's getting mistreated by a man? There's something going on with Alicia. There's something else there.
I think her sister has a connection with Keyshawn. That they're not letting really come to the screen. You know, because you can see in her facial expression that something. They showed it to us just by her facial expression. They showed it to us, but we wasn't able to like see that story. She know what's up, and the mom probably know what's up too. But to me, I feel as though like that was the mom in her ha moment, or I told you so moment, or well, I knew this was going to happen, but you made the mistake, so now you have to live with your mistake, and you need to figure out how you can get out of it. Not the fact that she ran to you for help or anything like that, because she could have told Derek, or if Derek called, I can't remember exactly if Derek called or
she called him.
She called Derek. She didn't even have to call Derek, but she felt as though that this was her ha moment. She trying to get away, this and the other. No, she need to fix this. We don't need to fix this because we ain't got nothing to do with this. This is her problem, not ours.
But you know what? They kind of showed us a little bit of that Because you saw even when they was at the cheerleading practice that Alicia and Keyshawn had more of a relationship than Veronica. And even when she came up that night, when she came back to the house that night and was trying to get back in, you saw Alicia came downstairs and she had a look of concern on her face. So they definitely had more of a situation, or they had more of a relationship than she did with Veronica, the other sister. But what I want to see is her mama. Where's her mama at? You know, they talked about how the father left the mama and all that stuff, but it would have been nice. And I guess going back to Really B, what she said when we first started, it's a nitpicky thing, but it just irritates me now all of a sudden that Keyshawn has a sister that she could take the kids over to and watch. In season 1, we saw the girl didn't have no help with the baby. She was bringing the baby to the club. Uncle Clifford was watching the baby. Now all of a sudden you can drop this child off to your sister, and you didn't have
other thing
before.
Yeah, and the other thing they did was they added another baby because it was not 2 kids before.
It was only one, Regal, right?
Yeah, it was not no damn 2 kids. So, but whatever. Okay. So we have the scene. We see Uncle Clifford and Lil Murder, and basically Uncle Clifford breaks up with Lil Murder. He tells Lil Murder, "Listen, you need to go on tour. It's been a great fantasy. My grandmama coming home. You know, we can't play house anymore. The fantasy is over. It's been real. I appreciate the love and the love making, but you need to go ahead and go out on tour. You need to live your life." And Lil Murder tells him, he said, "Listen, I'm at the beginning of this. Maybe this is my opportunity to do it my way and not have to live by nobody else's rules." Uncle Clifford is like, "Stop being stupid. Like, no, like you don't get to do that. You know, it was always 2 kids. She only brought the new baby to the club last season." I never saw 2 kids until this season. Maybe I was wrong, but I never
saw mentioned back in season 1. It was just Regal.
And why would she only bring 1 kid? That don't make no sense.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. But going back to your comment, I'm glad they explained that because I had issues with that too. Because Uncle Clifford become a little contradictory to what he want. Last season, at the end of last season, and the beginning of this season, he was upset with Lil Murder because how Lil Murder dissed him at murder night and all this stuff. And you want this man in your life or whatever the case may be, but you keep pushing him away every time he gets closer to you. So I'm glad they explained it why he was reticent about pursuing a relationship with Lil Murder. Like, listen, you got a good thing right here. You got an opportunity to get out the mud, make it, be successful. I'm going to be baggage. You can't live out here in the light with me because there ain't no hiding me. So I understood that part of it. But at the same time, it was kind of contradictory to what you actually want. You want to be with this dude, but at the same time, you keep pushing him away every chance you get. So I'm glad they explained that through that scene with him and his mama, why he was reticent about letting Lil Murder get close to him.
But I also think the situation with Murder Night was, I think he was just as mad at himself as he was mad at Lil Murder because he told Lil Murder last season, "This ain't real.
Yeah,
like we can't do this. This isn't real." And I think because Lil Murder kept telling him, "Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can make it happen." When Lil Murder did, publicly do what he did, I think he was just as mad at himself as he was at Lil Murder because he was like, "You know what? I had convinced myself. I started believing you. And then as soon as I started kind of opening that door, then you threw it back at me and you proved me right." Right. And I think that was part, and I think that's another reason why he was so adamant this season. Like, I ain't going back down that road with you. Like, I've enjoyed, because of the pandemic, because of what happened with Big Teak, because you had to sort of quarantine here with me. I allow myself to have fun with you, but I ain't lost sight of at the end of the road.
It's my reality.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what it was. But you're right. It did make sense to say, listen, this is like, I don't want you to miss out on this opportunity because of me. I don't want there to be any regrets. I don't want there to be any. And
that's valid. That's valid because you might end up getting in a situation where you resent me because I'm the reason why everything went south for you. So I can understand Uncle Clifford's point to that.
That was right. That was I was about to say that was Uncle Clifford's point, but Lil Murda was looking at it from that perspective. He was looking at it like, well, if
Well,
it doesn't work out, it's on me. I'm not putting that part on you as far as whether or not my career works out or it takes a turn. This is my decision. This is what I'm deciding to do. This is what I want. This is what you want, but you're trying to make the decision for me because you feel as though that you know what's right for me.
let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think that Little Murder is using Uncle Clifford as a placeholder for what failed with him and Big T? Because he seems to have a lot of regret of not being able to live out in the open with Big T, even though he could hide in plain sight with Big T. But I feel like he feels responsible for the reason why Big T decided to unalive himself was because he felt like he could never live in the light with Big T. So do you think Little Murder is using Uncle Clifford as a replacement girl?
No, I don't think he's using as a placeholder. I think he's learning from the mistakes he made with Big T.
Good point. Good point.
I think Big T is the one that got away from him.
Right.
So that's what I think that is, and he regrets that, and he don't want to regret this. So I think he just decided to take a leap of faith. He put his career to the side and decided to pursue his lifestyle. Because you can't keep living like how long he was gonna keep living like that? Like he was gonna regret that too. So that'd be a second regret. So he decided that he'd rather live his truth than to go off. Because even if he would have went off, he still had to hide it. He still would have had to hide it. At some point, you just gotta live your life.
And then
what time is
I guess another
now?
point to that is you don't got Keyshawn around anymore to help. You don't have a beard around anymore. So Keyshawn was kind of helping him keep up appearances when they was out on tour, doing the Dirty Dozen tour or whatever. She was trying. They were painting a persona that Keyshawn and Little Murder were together. Because even back in season 1, when they were in the studio and the guys were giving him grief about not showing up to do the next song or whatever, she went sat on his lap and kissed him in the mouth and was like, "Oh yeah, he was with me" or whatever. So yeah, you don't really have the ability to hide anymore. So I can understand that.
All right, so then we had the Mercedes experience. Mercedes is sitting there. She finds out her mama is the new mayor, and she gets a delivery from FedEx. She gets some posters from the Mercedes experience, and she gets a check.
Stop hating, DJ. Stop hating. The Mercedes experience is everything.
It is everything.
All my stacks to the Mercedes experience.
More like a lemon.
Well, she wasn't broke down in this episode, so you can say whatever you want to say. She wasn't broke down in this episode. Because that dance was everything.
So she calls the girl and she asked her about the pictures and the check. We see the check is for $30,000. And she said, "Is this your way of giving me the money that Coach owes me?" And she was like, "Nah, that ain't from him. That's from me." And I like what she said. She said, "Listen, contracts end, but residuals last forever."
Hey.
So basically that lets you know that she may not always get $30,000, but that lets you know that she's going to always get money periodically from the Mercedes experience as pictures sell or different exhibits or whatever that she's going to. So that lets you know that Mercedes, that was the writer's way of letting y'all know that Mercedes is going to be all right for money.
Yep.
That was their way of. And so when we start talking, that goes in a column of closed. That's a closed storyline.
Yep.
Mercedes should be all right. Not in, she ain't gonna be no millionaire, but she should be all right with money at least for a minute.
Let me ask you a question, and I'm not trying to be facetious because I'm glad she did get the check or whatever the case may be. What is the residuals for? Is it from the sale of the art? People coming to see the exhibit? What was the $30,000 for? Or was that a fee for using your likeness? Or is it
I think it was a fee for. I think it was a fee for using her likeness. I think it was a fee for using her likeness because she has said something to the effect of that.
Will be more so of the sale of the art.
A combination of probably the sale of the art, and if the exhibit continues or somebody else picks up the exhibit, if let's say another art gallery wants the exhibit,
Okay. Well,
So
either
yeah,
way, I'm
it's for
glad
them
for
to be
her.
able to use her likeness. Yeah.
I'm glad for her because she needed that come up, and she needed that confidence. That look, she's not just a hole in a pole. You
She
know,
can't dance that
she's
pole that
turned
much
this into
longer.
a whole brand. She has turned this into a whole brand. She's remixed her dance gym now from being a majorette dance gym to now she's gonna be teaching ladies how to do pole dancing. And really, Uncle Clifford could send all his new girls over there to the Mercedes Experience and let them get choreographed and training and pole work from Mercedes. So I mean, it's a good thing for her.
And that goes back to what Uncle Clifford told her last week when he said sometimes you got to dream new dreams.
That's right.
So you wanted
Which
to open
goes
up a
back
gym,
to
and your vision was to open up a gym for the little girls, but
Which she
now
still can
that
do.
ain't work out. So
She
now you
still
got
can
to
do it.
dream new dreams.
She still can do it. She can
which
do.
all goes back to when Farrah was on the pole and she was trying to teach Farrah how to dance.
Yep.
And it was kind of like, well, like I didn't think about it, on first watch or first or second watch. She was trying to teach her how to dance, and we're like, okay, all right, I actually could do this because this was something that it kind of brought me and Farrah closer. The pictures, the dancing, the intimacy, and intimacy don't always mean sex, but the intimacy of the dancing and the photography of it brought that idea to life for her, which I'm happy for her for that. And hopefully we'll see it the next season, if there is a next season,
You
with
know
how
what?
that
I was going to say
unfolds.
that. I want to see more of Mercedes and Farrah, and I don't want to see them necessarily in a sexual experience. What I liked about this is when Mercedes first showed up at that condo, Farrah was not seeing it for her. She was not into her. She was like, I was supposed to hate
Mm-mm.
you or whatever. They developed a friendship. They had a little fun on the side, but
They
then
have
it
an
turned into
intimacy.
business. They turned into business. So I really like the fact that Farrah, they both gave each other something. She gave Farrah the strength to leave coach and to do her own thing and pursue her photography. And Farrah gave her the boost of confidence that listen, you're not just a hole in the pole. You can be more than this. So I really want to see more of this combo because I think they can make some major moves together. Because if Mercedes continues to go out here and be a model for Farrah and doing different types of poses and modeling for her photography, that's feeding both of them. So I
I
really
like
want to
those
see more of that.
pictures.
Those
I'm gonna
pictures
put
were
that picture. I'm gonna put that picture next to my Lil Kim picture of her first album.
not
Word,
hardcore, not the hardcore.
definitely,
Lord have
definitely.
mercy.
That's a prison cell. That's a prison cell picture.
That's fine. You can take it however you want to take it, but that Mercedes experience picture is going right next to it.
Well, I'm glad to hear you say that because you always
All
be right
right.
about my girl.
I like Mercedes.
All
Now
right.
let's get over to uh Jacka Jordan's girl.
Ugh.
Haley thinks she got it made. She goes to see Andre. She takes him a box of cigars. You know, she's telling him, that she got big plans and, is the wife staying? They had that whole little moment. And she thinks she really about to go cash this check. And she calls up the old white lady, talking about where my money, bitch. Talking about some. I was asking for 10, but now I think I better go and give me
Bitch.
15.
And you get nothing. You get nothing.
And
You ain't
now
get
we see,
$5.
the biggest checkmate that I don't think anybody saw coming this whole season.
I
We
didn't.
find out that conversation with Corbin and Uncle Clifford last week makes so much more sense now. When Uncle Clifford told him,
Bring the water to you.
sometimes you gotta bring the water to you. And he said that this, both of us got a common enemy. It made sense when Corbin offered him $250,000. And, like we talked about that last week, like why he offered him so much money, like what was that about? But it all made sense. We find out that
He was balancing things out.
basically Haley got outplayed. She
Yes, she
got
did. She
outplayed.
got outsmarted.
She got outsmarted. She was like, the only way that you could build a casino in this state is on the water. And what was explained to her was, yeah, but the water, it don't matter where the water comes from.
Or where is that?
No matter where like, in Haley's mind, they had to be sitting on the Mississippi, and she was like, nah. You ain't got to be sitting on the Mississippi. You just got to be sitting on water. And so Corbin and his brother, which again, if there's a season 3, this needs to be fleshed out for me. Was this a plan that they had all along, or are we going to see a flashback of some deal like the night that he went to go visit his brother when they offered the bribe? Did they come up with the deal that night? When did they come up with this deal? Because whenever they came up with it, it was genius, and Corbin outsmarted all their asses.
Let me ask you this, and I don't follow politics too much. I'm sad to say I'm 42 years old and don't follow politics too much, so I really don't know the intricacies of it. Is the head of city council able to make a decision like this without the rest of the council?
What you mean, make a decision like what?
To divert that river to that canal. So
again,
we're saying that Wayne could make that decision on his own?
Again, the language of the law says it's not a decision for him to make. If the language of the law says it has to sit on water, it doesn't matter where that water is.
No, but someone had to approve for the city to do the construction, to do the changes, to divert the river to this new canal. What I'm saying is
but
Wayne...
then the brother, but he said that. He said he signed off on that.
Okay. I missed that part. That part. But let's talk about Autumn Nightmare for a second, because everyone loves to holler about Uncle Clifford being stupid and not handling money. I will say this: he's not the best person in business, but he wasn't stupid, because I
don't know where people are getting the stupid part from, because he came up with this whole idea.
Yeah, he did, and he did come up with the whole idea, because we know in reality that conversation he had with his mother was a premonition. And then the whole situation with Grandma Ernestine trying to go down to the river, and Little Murder went and got her bonnet and brought the water to her, all that planted that seed in Uncle Clifford. And when he was in the car that day, he had that premonition of his mother visiting him. His mother told him, it's okay to cry, let that water wash all over you. But just like Mama always says, it's okay for a bitch to cry, but a bitch also got to get even. So right there, he came up with the idea that, okay, especially when he went to go visit Corbin, and he saw that Corbin was out there working with the irrigation system, trying to get the water turned on, and was unsuccessful, he told Corbin right then and there, bring the water to you. So, Xavier hasn't done... Xavier, I said the same thing. Me and Really was talking about this offline earlier today. What happened to Wyatt? I need for them to explain.
I don't think
in rehab somewhere. Where is Wyatt?
I don't think that Uncle Clifford was stupid, or I think maybe the accusation of Uncle Clifford being stupid came from because he didn't take the initial offer. I think that's where people were like, "Oh, he's stupid. I would have took that money and this, that, and the other." So
well, Haley didn't take the offer. Uncle Clifford couldn't take the offer. Haley was the one who didn't take the offer.
Good point.
Not only that, but Uncle Clifford is... Like, he keeps explaining. People may not... Here's the thing. People may not agree with his answer. People may not like his answer. But he keeps explaining why he don't want the money. And he explained it to Haley again. He said, listen, I don't want the money. I want my club. Mm-hmm. Now, for people like Haley, they don't get it, because they're like, what are you talking about? You could walk away with $3 million
passing through,
and you can buy another club. Like, but for him, he's like, I want this club on this land in this place. That's what I got.
And it's not just that he wanted for himself. It's not just that he wanted for himself. Let's just be clear about that. He doesn't just want the club for himself. He wants it for everyone that works at that club. He said, where are these people going to go? We're degenerates. We're rejects. Where are we going to work at? Where am I going to work at? So he wanted this club not only just for himself, but he wanted it for the rest of the family.
Right. And I think even when we say Uncle Clifford's not good with money, I think we also have to remember, outside of this season, because I'm going to just put a pin in that. But going back to last season, that wasn't Uncle Clifford's fault. He didn't take those loans out. Miss Ernestine took those loans out.
Correct.
He was trying to get the club out of debt. Now, this season, I think they were trying to make it seem like money. They couldn't get above water because they had to keep closing because of COVID. I feel like that's where they were going with that.
And that's a valid reason.
So, but again, we could say he's not good with money. Now, I mean, buying a Birkin bag when your club is closed probably wasn't the smartest decision. But overall, I won't even say he's not good with money when you think about the fact that all last season it wasn't him. He was trying to pay. He was trying to fix a problem that he didn't create. He didn't create those payday loans. And Miss Ernestine did it to save the club. She didn't do it out of she didn't do it. She was really trying to save the club. So remember, that's when they had to change it from a juke joint to the strip club to begin with. That was him trying to save the club.
And keep in mind what all he's had to go through this season. He's had to play the health department fines, $11,000. He had to make the changes to put the vanities in and get the HIPAA system put in place or whatever. That was another 5 or 7.
Well, he had to set up the car wash to begin with.
He had to set up the car wash, and he made the choice to pay them folks furlough when they weren't dancing, when they were trying to get Pussyland up and going. Right. He paid the girls still. So, I mean, yeah, you say he walk around with a Birkin, but Autumn Nightmare was walking around with Birkins too, and Louis Vuittons on. So, I mean, he wasn't the only one that was spending money up on nice things.
Yeah. And here's another reason why
spend money on nice things when somebody gave you the money though to get your club back though, right?
Yeah, but she stole it too. So,
but here's the other thing.
She didn't earn the money. She stole it. So, but whatever.
But here's another reason why we know that Uncle Clifford ain't stupid, because Haley made a beeline to Uncle Clifford after she talked to the lady, and she knew that Uncle Clifford was the one that was in cahoots with Corbin. Again, like Autumn knew too.
Yep. Well, she even said it to Keyshawn. Remember that episode she was talking to Keyshawn, and she told Keyshawn, "I'm either going to be a rich bitch or a stupid bitch." The next day, she should have took that $5 million. She was greedy. That's what this was. That's what this lesson is. That's
definitely was greedy.
That she was being greedy because somebody offered me $5 million. Run me that $5 million. Run me that. But she wanted more than what she was worth. She wanted more than what
we going to the bank together to make sure it's clear.
She overplayed her hand.
She did.
She overplayed her hand,
and she lost. She bust.
Yeah, she overplayed her hand.
We know why though.
Yeah, because she's a fraud.
All right. So okay.
Keep looking that direction too. Autumn Nightmare.
Miss Ernestine, I'm not doing this with y'all. Miss Ernestine is out the hospital and she is having a coming home party. She done rehired Big L. Big L done went and found her Mandingo prince, and and they got Duffy setting the party up. And we did get the answer to one question. We found out what happened to his mom. So we found out that his mom died of AIDS. So whatever, I guess. I don't know. That was sort of anticlimactic to me. We came up with all these like storylines about what happened to his mother, like that. I don't think any of us ever thought it was going to come down to that. I think I really like the drug connection, because that really would have explained why Uncle Clifford was really so adamant about the drugs.
Well, we still don't know how she contracted the virus.
He said it. He said, "Look what love did for you."
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true.
He said love.
Yeah, so it's implying that she was with a man that gave her the virus.
I mean, that's true too, but they alluded to it was a relationship, not drugs.
Yeah, the only reason why I say that is in that flashback scene where Miss Ernestine was singing, they showed a lot of prostitution, pimping, and drugs and everything in the club or whatever the case may be. So I asked the question, and I vaguely asked this question, could the mother have been using drugs as well and got caught up with a man that was, she was into and she was in love with, and may have been using, use a bad needle or something. There's a reason why Uncle Clifford is so vehemently adamant about drugs. So I hope that they flush that out. That's going back to one of those things that the writers.
I mean, love could have led her to be strung out. I mean, people are making that point. That's valid.
Yeah.
Love could have led her to be. I mean, that's true. We know people got We know it happens all the time. People get hooked on drugs because they in a relationship and the other person getting high. And
there's a reason why he's so.
Again, so we can put that under the column of maybe if there's a season 3, we get more information. I would love to see. I think they sort of gave us a little bit of the origin story, but I would love to see Clifford with his mama, like some more flashbacks of that.
Maybe when he was older. When he was older,
yeah, more context. Yeah, when he was.
Well,
older.
I guess it also depends on when she died too.
Well, she died at a younger age. We saw that on her tombstone.
Yeah, she died at a young age.
I think it was 95. It was in the 90s. It was in the 90s. So we could, and we found out that Uncle Clifford is in his 40s because he said, "Little murder, I'm twice your age." So he's in his 40s. So, I mean, we could deduce that maybe he was a teenager when his mom died or something.
Yeah, a teenager. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. So we see, I already talked about this a little bit, but we see it was 1999. Thank you, Diva. So we see Haley confront Uncle Clifford, and basically Uncle Clifford, gives her the check, tells her he's buying his club back. He explains that Mississippi, and this is another reason to let you know he's not stupid. He lets her know Mississippi law say if I own 30% of the club, I can negotiate. And that goes back to the conversation where he got her to give him 30% of the club. Remember, he didn't have 30% at first.
15.
And he negotiated that 30%.
Yep. 33.
He was right. He was adamant about increasing his ownership. So again, when people say, I just think we need to put things in more. I think we need to stop using, and I say we in general, we need to stop using blanket words and be more specific. When people say Uncle Clifford's not smart, I think we need to be specific about what we mean because he's very smart. Now, he may make some bad decisions, and he may not always make the right move as far as because he made a bad decision with Haley. He played this whole situation with Haley perfectly until the end where she was still able to get into that damn bank account. He should have moved that money when he pulled that move with her at the club. There should have been no money in that damn account.
Sure should.
And maybe he couldn't because her name was on it. I don't know, but she shouldn't have been able to, because he should have anticipated that. When she kept saying this ain't enough money, he should have anticipated she was going to go drain that damn account.
Yep.
But I think in the moment he was pissed off, but in the grand scheme of things, I think he don't even give a fuck.
Yeah, he was just glad to see her go.
Yeah, I think in the moment he was mad, but overall, like he don't care.
In regards to Autumn, like I said in our review, they've switched up the writing with Autumn a little bit. They made her one episode we love her, the next episode we can't stand her. She's all over the place with her motives and her intentions. We did see Autumn do good things, but we also know that Autumn Nightmare had selfish motives and intentions that were just for herself. But she did do some good. But at the same time, just like when she was up there in that house with them folks arguing, why are you standing there in the middle of that? You know that you're the mistress. You know that you're the other woman. Go and remove yourself from that situation because you know that in this situation, you're wrong. Ain't no right in what you're doing. You know that you with a married man. Why are you sitting here bothered by the fact that she called you light bright and she talking about she gonna snatch your lace front off or whatever? And then you get over here to the club. These people have given you a place for you to take up refuge. Uncle Clifford knew from day one that you was running a scam. He knew from day one that you were foul. He knew from day one that you were not Lakeisha Savage. But he let you ride with that. He let you hide in plain sight. Yeah, you save the club. Yeah, they save your life. Tit for tat, tomato, tomato, potato, potato. Whatever the case may be. I think that the mere fact that Uncle Clifford didn't send you out of there broke. He could have sent your ass up out of there with nothing. He could have very well kept that $250,000 because Corbin wrote that check to him. But he felt like he was doing the right thing by giving you that what you put.
No, he didn't do that as no favor to her. He had to give her the money.
Why?
She owned the club.
She done lost. At this point, you're a partner.
But it's still her club.
I don't agree with that.
What don't you agree with? She paid for the club. It's her club.
$250K. I think it was very earnest and honest of Uncle Clifford to say, listen, You didn't get your 5-10 million that you wanted, but I ain't gonna send you away broke. I'm gonna make you whole. I'm gonna give you your 250 back that you put up for the club. We appreciate what you did for us, and she should have been grateful for that. But yet, still, she wanted more. I just think that was greed. That was more greed coming out of her.
And I don't think that was greed. Now I don't like Haley, and I disagree with what you saying that they made us love her than hate her. I think last season, yes, but this season they didn't give us nothing about her. For me, there was not one episode this season where I liked her. Not one.
But think about the things that she did. She helped Mississippi. She was helping Mercedes at the beginning of the season, paying the rent, helping her get a cut on the door or whatever.
I was just about to get ready to say that.
But that didn't make me. But that didn't make me love her. That didn't. I'm just saying for me, it didn't make me love her.
It redeemed her. It showed that
not for me. It did. That's what I'm saying. Even with her helping Mississippi, what did I keep saying to y'all? It's something I don't trust. For me, her character was so flawed that even though she was,
you felt like she had a hand in the agenda.
I didn't feel like she had a hand in it. I just didn't trust that she was doing it to really help Mississippi. I was
I'm saying like a hidden agenda. Do you think she had like a hidden agenda?
Oh yeah,
everything that she was doing.
I kept waiting for her.
I agree with that, Dallas. Her upbringing made her selfish. I agree with that because she was an orphan. She didn't have a family. She didn't know how to. I agree with that, Austin. I do.
I disagree with that. I think people's experiences make them go left or right. We could just as easily say that because she didn't have family, that when she finally, like what Uncle Clifford said, he said, you didn't have family and we could have been that family for you. So she could have just as easily gone.
In other words, she didn't want no family. She didn't want a family.
Yeah, I think
she didn't. She was just passing through.
Yeah, she said that all along. She was like, it was never my intention to stay here. That was never my goal. Yeah.
I wish she wasn't to stay. She just wanted to hide there.
Do you think that she actually had feelings for Andre? Do you actually think she fell in love with him?
I don't think she fell in love with him. I think she liked him.
Yeah, I
think she liked him, but I don't think she fell in love with him. Yeah. But I don't know. I still don't understand how you feel like they didn't owe her that money when it was her fucking club. But okay. I still don't know how you felt like it's her club. She paid for the club.
Just by technicality, it's her club because she won it on the auction block. But keep in mind, she turned around.
She bought it.
But okay, if that's the case, then be the owner and run the club. But she turned around and gave the money to Uncle Clifford after she bought it. So all she was really doing she turned around and gave the money to Uncle Clifford when she bought it. She said that in the first episode. She was like, "How much do we have left?" She was like, "We paid the $55,000. I gave you the other $195,000."
Right to run the club.
No, my thing is, he made her whole. He made her whole, and I don't feel like he should have. I don't feel like he should have had to have done that based on how she was moving. She was moving in a way where she was trying to take the money and run.
I know, right?
like she did with Montavious. She took his money and ran. So she was trying to do the same thing with the pink.
But that's different. With what she did with Montavious was different. You don't get to. I don't know. Listen, it's just okay.
Oh, agree to disagree.
Whatever. Because you don't like the way she running this. She don't get to keep her own club because she don't like the way she running the club.
But she didn't want the club. That's the point. She never wanted the club. She didn't care about the operations of the club. All she was doing was trying to do was flip it for a quick dollar. She was playing Monopoly. She was playing Monopoly with real money. That's all she was caring about.
It doesn't matter why she did it. It doesn't matter. It just the fact that it's her club.
You're right, Crystal. You're right. It's her club.
I don't want to be right. You don't have to. I'm not trying to be right. I just don't understand.
What I'm saying is,
you and I both know you wrong.
The point that I'm trying to make is she did not know that Uncle Clifford had that $250,000 to give back to her. If Uncle Clifford was moving selfishly like how she had been, he didn't have to tell her that she had that money. He made that choice to sign that check that Corbin had wrote to him over to her to make her whole. That's the point that I'm trying to make. I'm not saying that about technicality or legality or whatever that she didn't own the club. Yes, we knew that she owned the club or whatever. But when she walked away from that deal with Georgie, she had nothing left. So when she came back to the Pink, she didn't know that Uncle Clifford had $250,000 to give to her. What did she have left? Okay, we either gonna make this work and move forward, or Uncle Clifford gave her an alternative. The alternative was, listen, I'm gonna give you this $250 back that you put up, and I want you to be up out of here. What I'm saying is, Uncle Clifford,
the alternative, they was gonna bury her, they're gonna kill her.
Not deceptive in his motives. He had good intentions in saying, listen, I'm gonna make you whole. You lost on that end of it, but guess what? You're still not gonna walk away broke. That's all I'm saying.
I think the alternative was they're gonna kill her. Or they gave her the threat that I did it was gonna kill her, because you see Diamond and Big L just sitting there chilling with a shovel and a chainsaw. With a shovel and a chainsaw, I mean, that's intimidating. So of course she go. I mean, she can't walk away with. I feel as though she walked away with something.
I don't believe that she doesn't own the club. Listen, I'm not arguing the point that she doesn't own the club. The only point that I was trying to make was that she did not know that Uncle Clifford had $250 to give her.
I get what you saying, because she could have been conniving about
that money is what I'm saying.
Oh, Clifford could have been conniving about
I'm trying to make.
He could have been conniving about it, but I don't think that Autumn would have left if he would have been conniving about it, because she's still the owner of the club. Because she still would have been the owner of the club.
Okay. I don't even. We did see this goes under the category of maybe something for next season. We saw Andre go to visit his father in jail. Now that could have been closure, or that could have been something that we build on for next season if there's a season 3. This could have been closure. Go visit his father. Yeah, you know what I mean. It could have been closure,
but circle.
But it could open up a whole new storyline, because we could learn about maybe his father has some inside scoop on what's going on down the Chucalissa, maybe who his father killed. Like again, it depends on what they decide to do. You know, it depends on what they
because Dre also said didn't he say he was going to open up a law office or something like that?
Yeah, he's opened up a law office. Yeah,
so maybe he can help.
He's going to try to get his dad out of jail.
Yeah.
So I think that possibly opens up the storyline.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I don't think that's close.
Thank you, Virgin Love.
I think it came full circle. At least we get to meet his father, because he mentioned him in such a pivotal point of his campaign. But it does leave a lot of options, you know, in case we get a season 3.
Yeah, we get a season 3. So before I forget, because I may forget to say this at the end, let me say this to everybody. It's about 50 people in here. Something I saw, the guy that plays Uncle Clifford, his name escapes me right now.
Nico, I think.
Say it again.
I think his name is Nico. Something.
Nico Alon. Something that he said, because people were asking about the season 3 and what's going on with season 3 and why haven't they made a decision. And he said that leaving comments, Nico Alon, thank you, leaving comments under on IDBM, leaving comments under Rotten Tomatoes, leaving comments under those types of websites are the things that really get the attention of the networks. Basically, he was like, talking to me on Instagram ain't really helping. That's not helping the show. You know, leaving comments under my personal Instagram, asking me about the show, because I don't make those decisions. So if Casmine said we just stressed you out, Retro, you had to go get a blunt.
Oh man.
But yeah, so you know, y'all love the show, y'all want to see the show come back. I'm just saying, y'all need to be making comments under like the official websites for P-Valley and stuff like that, and leave the comments, because right here, I mean, this is all a great conversation, but this ain't where like ain't nobody from Stars gonna see this conversation. I mean, yeah, so
they better.
Anyway, I just want to say that before I forget. Okay, so I did see that. Like I said, I just wanted to throw that in there that we saw Andre go to visit his father, and again, that could have very easily been we'll see something happen, but we won't see something happen. Again, it depends on season 3, which direction they go with that. I'm going to also say that I'm going to finish up this Haley situation. Haley gone. She done put on a blonde wig. She done left town with her really $300,000 because she stole $40,000 out the account, and then she got $250,000. So
and her red lipstick.
And we know that in real life she left the show. So
and a red
unless
lipstick.
they convince her to come back or they recast that character, Haley is gone. I think that eliminates a lot of storyline by Haley leaving, but I mean they can work around it. But it takes away this whole story. It takes away some element, I should say, of the storyline with Montavious and Diamond or whatever. I think
Big Bone, full body.
A big bone, big body. It takes away some of that, some of that. So, but she left in real life, and I know TSF did a whole video on it, so y'all can go check that video out. What, Monday? When did y'all do the video?
Monday. It was the very next day when we found that out.
I thought it was Monday. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Child, what happened after that? Okay. Now, here's the crazy. Okay. We see Mississippi show up back at her house, and basically the boyfriend then calls I feel like he was the one that called CPS.
Definitely.
He got CPS there, and he's basically creating a situation where Keyshawn can't go anywhere because the CPS officer starts talking about how they have to do checkups and how she has to, check in once a month, and they're gonna have this for the next 6 months. And she heard 6 months, and she just lost it. Like
he definitely created that. He definitely created that whole scenario.
Yeah, I can't go nowhere for the next 6 months. Like, now I'm gonna call bullshit on part of this storyline, and the bullshit that I'm gonna call is there's no way in the world that that baby was supposed to leave that doctor's office. Like,
that's a fact. We said that. We said that in our episode. We said that in our episode.
Yeah, we said that. That's what I'm saying. We did say that. Hey, Romel,
it should have been no way. It should have been no way. But what the writer wanted us to believe was the perception is that Derek made the phone call in order to eliminate Mississippi resources for her to leave. Now lawfully you can't leave. Because if that happens, then it's against the law. You have to stay.
Yeah.
So
Jonathan said, what made her have the strength to attack now? Everybody got a breaking point.
The breaking point was she can't leave now. Now it's not an option. Like, you can't leave.
She thought she had the perfect escape plan. She had all the money she needed. She had new ID. Like everybody got a breaking point. She thought she had finally figured out a way out of it. And
she had the will, and it was broken. She had the will, she had the strength, and then it all was broken down by that phone call. Pretty much said you can't leave because there's some type of abusive relationship with you or something in this household with the kids. So now you got to stay because we have to periodically check up on you for the next 6 months.
Wait a minute, hold on. You said Katori said because cases were backed up because of COVID, so they didn't get to until they. What you talking about? Xavier? I don't know what you're talking about, baby.
Mississippi should just killed her.
Diva One, I agree. There's other stuff they could do with the Montavious storyline, but I think without Haley there, it takes away an element of it. Yes,
they lose it.
Yeah, Mercedes technically pulled the trigger. Diamond buried the body. But all of that leads back to Haley. And without Haley there, it just takes away. Again, it can work. It just takes away an element of the storyline. It can work though. Okay. I'm just trying to go through my notes. Okay, so we see Mercedes back at the house. And we see Mercedes with Terica. Oh, we missed it. I think we forgot to talk about that part about Mercedes had a conversation with her mama, and her mama let her have Terica. Terica, stepmama going into rehab, or the woman that raised her, and so Mercedes gonna have Terica for at least the time period that she's in rehab. I feel like that was Patrice's way of maybe trying to make amends on some level with Mercedes. I mean, it doesn't.
That was Mayor. That was a good Mayor Bishop apologizing, because she's never actually going to say it.
Oh yeah,
So
she's
that was
never going to
her.
apologize.
She's never going to say it.
She don't
She's
feel
not
like
going to
she did
apologize
anything
for
wrong.
shit. She's never going to apologize
She
for
doesn't
shit.
feel like she did anything wrong. I don't think
She could
feels
rear
like
end somebody and never apologize for that shit. She feels though she never did anything wrong. She did it for, and what she felt is for everybody's well being. And now she's here to say, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah, I don't think she thinks she did anything wrong. I think she made the best decision in that moment for what was going on with Mercedes. But I mean, as far as stealing Mercedes money, child, she's not going to apologize.
Ain't no making it up.
This is the closest Mercedes ever going to get. So either she's going to have to accept it or she's not going to accept it. But that's the extent of that, child.
But I do think at some point that she's going to play like a pivotal role in making something happen for Mercedes, because she's the mayor.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Katori said that the doctor made the call about the child abuse, and the police didn't get to it because of COVID. Derek just lied to them when confronted. Again, that all sounds good, but that's just not how it works in real life. Even in the midst of COVID, that's not how it works in real life. The way that baby showed up to that doctor's office, ain't no way in hell they would have sent that baby back home without an investigation. It just wouldn't have happened. I understand what you're saying. If somebody had just randomly called and said, hey, my neighbors are always fighting and I think the kids are in danger, that makes sense that case might get pushed back. But the way that baby showed up at that doctor's office with them bruises and a broken arm, ain't no way in hell that baby would have got sent home. But again, it's a TV show, so it's whatever. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Me and Retro were talking about this earlier. Something in this scene does it. I think again, if there's a season 3, something in this scene, I think it's gonna come back. Either A, and somebody, I saw this on TikTok today, and I sent it to y'all, and I was like, this actually not a bad theory. Maine and Terica, if you look at that scene, it's almost like they know each other. I don't like the way Maine is looking at Terica. Now, I ain't saying he gonna do nothing to the girl.
I don't like the way Terica was looking at Maine.
He definitely looking at her like she grown and like she not 14 years old. But somebody on TikTok was saying, what if that's her actual baby father? Because even when he was like, oh, that's your daughter? This your daughter? And I don't know, something in this moment, I don't know, something ain't sit right with me. I don't know.
I watched that, and the only thing I'll say about that is they've alluded to the fact that Mercedes and Maine hasn't been intimate up to this point, so that would be kind of hard to receive that if they write that into the story that Maine is Terica's real father. I hope not.
No, not Terica's father, Terica's baby's father. Remember, she said it was the little boy at school. But they're saying that was he messing with Terica? And you notice how Mercedes keeps talking about how grown she is, and I don't know. I'm not saying I think Cortez really is her father. I that part, yeah. But
where I think there's smoke at with that is that we know that Maine is upset with her because she danced for Little Murder. What I think is going to happen is that little girl going to get turned out. I don't think they're going to go down the pathway initially. When we talked earlier, I went to the direction of she's going to get raped. Now that I think about it, since they've already kind of showed us that with Keyshawn and Rome, I don't think they're going to show us that. But I do think that little girl going to get in a life. I think she's going to be across that street. She's going to end up selling drugs. Mercedes kind of foreshadowed it a little bit when she told Uncle Cliff, I don't keep an eye on her, she's gonna be selling weed next. I think she's gonna become a part of that Chief by Chief game. Is what I foreshadow happening.
I could see her becoming part of the game.
Mm-hmm. She's gonna get
you think
mixed
they be
up.
doing way too much? That might be going a little too deep. I agree. That might be going a little too deep, but I don't know. Something in that scene that for me that falls under the category of if there's a season 3. I think something in that scene, there's more there that we're not seeing. And like you said, maybe it's just the simple fact that Terica gonna start hanging out with them. I mean, they are right across the street. Like, it's not like, she got to go far. But I definitely think it's more to that scene than what we're seeing. I don't know. And again, it might just be me reading too much into it. But I'm definitely gonna put that under the category of next season. If there's a season 3, May was in jail. So yeah. But remember, May was in jail during murder night. We don't know how many months has it been.
3 months, I believe. I think it's 3 months. Because remember, or 5 months, maybe 5 months.
Has it been 5? Okay. Well,
I think he said it in the earlier episode.
He's been in jail, so that would eliminate him from being the father if it had been 5 months. Now, 3 months, he could still be the father because remember, that was the whole thing. She didn't know when her due date was, and she didn't know until she went to the doctor where her due date was, and it was basically like, you got to make a decision today.
Well, didn't they say she was like 14 weeks, and Maine had just got out of jail like the day before?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm not so 6 months. Okay, so then that theory is gone because she wasn't no damn 6 months pregnant, but she was far enough along to be showing though. Remember, she couldn't even fit her pants, and she had a little belly, but she wasn't 6 months. She was probably about maybe 4 months.
I think that is just more gaps in the writing because they alluded to this little boy that she was running around with, this little nappy head boy that she was running around with, but yet they didn't show him. They should have showed him at the very least. They should have showed him reacting to her decision to abort the child, especially when she made a comment about him wanting to keep the child. It's just a gap in the writing, I think.
Maybe, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's just a theory that's out there. Like I said, I saw it on TikTok. I'll throw it out there, but I'm not sure if they would go that deep. But there was definitely, for me, at least in my opinion, there was just something with that storyline. I don't know, something with that storyline. Oh, I don't think I didn't tell y'all. So Mississippi got arrested. She attacked Derek. She attacked the police, and she ended up getting arrested. Whatever. She ends up calling
that storyline.
It's just stupid. She ends up calling Diamond later on, and this is stupid too because now is not the time for Diamond to go kill Derek because it's going to be really obvious. You're going to be the first damn suspect, Mississippi. Duh. You're going to be the first suspect. Now it's not, if anything, nothing need to happen to Derek right now, at least until you get out of jail and you can come up. I mean, while you're in jail, you do have an alibi while you're in jail. So maybe this is the time, but you're going to still be the first suspect. I mean, you're going to be the first suspect.
Yeah, because you're the angry black woman that don't attack him. So yeah.
Right. Like, and you're under suspicion of being abusive towards him. Like, come on now.
Children.
Right. So now, I mean, you missed your window. At least for now, you did. You're gonna have to play in a perfect world, you would have to play the position for a little while, or he gonna have to get hit by a car or something real accidental. But the problem is when Mississippi called,
that's what she should have called. She should have called Wody up.
Yeah, she should have called Wody, child. So when Mississippi called, Diamond takes the call and Big Body notices. So we'll get to that. But I just had to put that out there. So now we're down to the club. The party that started. Miss Ernestine is having her going away party. And everybody's down there having themselves a good time. And, they line dancing. And Mercedes has showed up with some pickle pig feet. Child. I said, that's some old country shit right there. Because nobody had a problem with it. He was like, go on, put it over there on the table. I wish somebody would show up at my house with a jar of pickle pig feet. You eat pickle pig feet?
Absolutely not.
I mean, you ain't say nothing. I'm thinking, well, maybe I'm the only one.
Pig feet?
Absolutely not.
Pickled pig feet. I'm not
That
eating
ain't
pickled.
gonna
If it
you
ain't
at all.
if it ain't pickled cucumbers, I'm not eating it.
That's right.
I mean, I don't know. Anyway,
Ugh.
She did show a pic. I was like, if this
And
ain't the
was happy
most
about it
country,
too. And was
like here's a
happy
pickled
about
right,
it.
pig feet.
We
Who
brought
pickled
right,
the pig feet? Who
right.
pickled the
That's what
pig
I'm saying.
feet?
Like Uncle Clifford wasn't. Uncle Clifford was like, "Go on, put it over there on the table." Like I was like,
I'd have been holding those with 2 fingers. Like I don't really want to touch this because then I'm gonna turn it to something. I don't know. I ain't doing no pickled pig feet.
so Mercedes,
Yeah.
even though Maine put it in her head that little murder, because we see. Oh, I forgot that part. I got so caught up on the damn storyline with Terica. We see where Mercedes and Maine have a falling, and I knew Maine was gonna have a problem with it. As soon as he saw Mercedes on stage dancing with Lil Murder, I knew he was gonna have a problem with it. And he basically told her, "You done chose sides." Like she said, "I don't get in that mess. I just dance." He said, "Nah, you was on stage with him because you gotta, again, he's rapping
You was with
about
the
the murder.
ops,
Yeah, so
and
you
that
kind
song
of
is fire.
yeah, I mean, you kind of put yourself in the middle of it, Mercedes, even though you really wasn't putting yourself in the middle, but you kind of put yourself in the middle of it.
Inadvertently, yeah.
Yeah. She and Maine told her then that Lil Murder was gay, right? So she saw things a little differently when she see Lil Murder and Uncle Cliff, because Lil Murder shows up at the party, even though he's supposed to be gone on tour. He shows up at the party, and Uncle Clifford like, "What you doing here?" And he said, I'm doing my own thing. Like he said, "You need to go on tour." He said, "No, I don't need to do nothing." He said, "And I'm not doing nothing until," he said, "I wasn't going nowhere until I said goodbye to Miss Ernestine anyway." Mercedes and Uncle Clifford have the conversation about Mercedes moving on. And of course, Uncle Clifford's sad and upset about the fact that everybody's leaving him. And like she reminded him, "Well, you told me I had to, dream different dreams. Like I'm just following what you told me." So they had their little moment. Then we see Miss Roulette in the bathroom. What's her name? Retro, because I don't know her name.
Nivea.
Nivea.
Nineveh, I think. Yeah.
Nineveh. Basically, Nineveh lets Roulette know, "I know that you tricking. I know you pimping, and put me in your stable." Because at first it seemed like she was gonna snitch on her.
Yeah.
But then she was like, "Listen, I got something that you can't offer. I got something that the rest of these girls can't offer. And so she getting in the stable. She becoming part of the stable. And Roulette just got a whole pimp thing working. Now let me say this publicly. I guess I owe Juggernaut $20.
Yeah,
But in
you
the
do.
real world, Roulette's dead. Now that's all I'm gonna say. But I make good on, if I make a bet, I make good on my bet. I'm gonna go on
I
the
was
cash
waiting for you to
after this
send it to.
money.
I was waiting for you to send it to me, so I can send it to him.
Why would I send it to you?
I was just trying to make sure that he get it, in a
Nah,
timely
I
manner.
just send it directly to him. I think I still have his cash app in my phone. I just send it
If
to
you
him.
don't, you got my number, and you can cash up it to me, and I'll just make sure he get it.
I have his number too. I'll make sure he gets it.
It takes over 72 hours to process if it comes through me.
Anyway,
Ridiculous.
you should have made the bet. You ain't made the bet, so oh well.
But
I couldn't. I was on your side.
even though he may win the bet in this moment, I do think that that's revisited in season 3.
Oh, indeed.
I don't think there's somebody gonna pay some consequences, and maybe Nineveh that pay the consequences. Somebody gonna pay some consequences.
Roulette's supposed to be dead. I don't care what nobody say.
Over and over again.
Roulette's supposed to be dead. It'd be different if dude didn't know who did it. It'd be different if they did something. I mean, her stripping him down and making him, put the gun in his mouth. That ain't nothing for him to be. Yeah, that ain't nothing for him to be ashamed of. That's something for him to get revenge for. Anyway.
Hell yeah, do that to live.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see that being like, yeah. I mean, I could see if she sodomized him with I could see if she did something that he would be embarrassed. But even even if that's
he
the case,
recorded it.
But even if that's the case, he still doesn't have to tell nobody. He know where she worked. He know how to find her. He can seek revenge without getting help from anybody.
If
you
she
know what
recorded
I'm
it,
saying?
it'd have been something different.
That's true. Xavier Roulette gonna be the new Autumn. Yep. The character, everybody. Yeah, that's true.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Roulette.
Since we're talking about Roulette, do you think she's going to become the new headliner for the club?
Yeah. Yeah. Because the club is her access to run her other business.
She needs access to the girls and the tricks. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely think that she takes, but like Mercedes said, like when Uncle Clifford said, who am I going to get to replace you? She said, nobody. There's still going to be clientele there's still going to be something that's missing. I don't think Mercedes comes back to dance, but like you said, does she work in the capacity as a trainer? Does she assist Uncle Clifford in running the club? There's definitely going to be a job for her there. How she defending all those women with that small revolver gun, child.
With one bullet.
Right. So Uncle Clifford and Lil Murda have the conversation. That Lil Murda finally talks to him about Big T and explain what happened that night and explain why he's so adamant about doing this the right way, because he feels like he let Big T down and never publicly acknowledging him, never really doing right by him. And I think he's really trying to figure out the best answer for everybody. How do I do this and still have my career and my relationship? There's a part of him that blames himself for what happened to Big T, and all of that. So that was the much needed conversation that the two of them needed to have. Much needed conversation. I don't think there was any resolution in that moment, but there was definitely the much needed conversation. Before they could really finish the conversation, Big L comes to let, and that's why I say Big L ass ain't fired, because why Big L in the books? Why is Big L still working? Because there's no reason for Big L to know that the account is empty other than Big L is working, which means he's still, Miss Ernestine hired him back, which means he back working for the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're brothers that fight. You fired him. Y'all was mad for a minute. He back in the damn club. You saw when he walked in the house how they was bumping each other and slapping each other. You know what I mean? Like, they're brothers who fight. I mean, I think Big L's feelings were really hurt, but he ain't going nowhere, child. Big L ain't going nowhere. He lets Uncle Clifford know that Haley done cleaned out the damn accounts, child.
She sure did.
And again, now that goes back to the conversation about Big Clifford not always making the best decisions, because you were supposed to have that account blocked. I don't know what you were supposed to do, but you were supposed to somehow stop her from getting that damn money. But anyway.
Yeah.
Now here go another theory that's floating around out there in the internet world. Big L offered Uncle Clifford some pills. Now Uncle Clifford we didn't see him actually take them, but he said that he did need some drugs in that moment, but we didn't see Uncle Clifford take them. Next thing we know, Uncle Clifford comes outside. He's drunk, having a good time. He's dancing. He done kicked his shoes off. And who comes up behind him? Lil Murda. They start dancing together. And Lil Murda tells him, "You're not dreaming." Because he had made a mention earlier about him having dreams, of dreaming about his, mom and stuff like that. So he tells him, "Listen, you ain't dreaming." And they end up kissing in front of everybody. Now, one of the theories out there is that didn't really happen, that was a dream sequence that we're going to find out, like, next, if there's a season 3, that moment didn't really happen. That was sort of Uncle Clifford dreaming about it. What do y'all think? Y'all think it really happened, or do y'all think that was a dream? Listen, Xavier, I don't care what Katori said. I'm asking them. What y'all think?
I think that it actually happened, only because of the fact that it's been a focal point of their conversations. I mean, every time there's a scene with the two of them, it's an ongoing topic. So I think it happened.
Is Jack still there? I think he might have walked away. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never questioned whether it really happened until I read that and I was like, damn, maybe okay, everybody's saying Katori said it was real. Okay, fine. Katori said it was real, child. I'm glad it was real. I didn't want it to be a dream. I'm glad it was real. And I'm glad that in the initial reaction, we had mixed reaction from people. Some people were smiling, some people looked shocked, some people weren't smiling.
Sure did.
So I'm glad that we got a mixed reaction because I think that's real. I think that's real.
I think there's going to be repercussions because of it.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, it ain't going to be easy. And it shouldn't be because that wouldn't be realistic. If it were easy, that wouldn't have been realistic. You in the deep south? Yeah, ain't no way in the world that's going. First of all, we already know that right now. We know that Lil Murder got a target on his back. So he already got that going on. He got a target on his back.
So that's the better question that I have. Do you think that how do you think that the beef with the Chief Cheese and the Hurtville Hustlers is going to end, particularly with Maine and Little Murder? How do you think that's going to pan out?
I don't know. I don't know where that goes, especially since Little Murder ain't leave town. He definitely got a target on his back. So
I think Little Murder going to catch a fade, and I think he's going to catch some hot ones. I'm hoping that Uncle Clifford doesn't become collateral damage now that it's public knowledge that you are with little Uncle Clifford. Uncle Clifford could be in danger.
The paint gonna be in danger. They could get shot up too.
The paint could be in danger. It's gonna get shot up, burnt down, like missile blowed into it, like on the Players Club. Something like that gonna happen. I feel like something either bad is gonna happen to a Little Murder. He gonna get shot and gonna be in the hospital. I don't think he's gonna get killed. I think he's going to get shot or something like that. Or they're going to come and fuck that club up. Something going to happen because of this. Because they now know that another way to get to a Little Murder is now through Uncle Clifford.
I think if there's a season 3, I think Little Murder spends most of season 3 in the hospital. I think he does get shot, but I don't think he dies. But I think he stays in the hospital a long time. I think Uncle Clifford, I think that's going to be his stress next season, is managing the club, managing being a quote-unquote boyfriend, managing whatever shit Roulette going to be getting his ass into. I think that's
where there'll be some problems. I think some problems going to come out of that too, where Roulette going to have some extra attention on that club with them tricking out of it.
And let's not forget this whole situation with Diamond, which ends the episode. Diamond is getting his little killer kit together, and he basically gets attacked. He gets stabbed. He starts having PTSD and flashbacks of what happened to him in the military, but he ends up gagged and in the trunk, and he sees that he sees the ring on the other dude's finger. He sees Big Body, so he knows that she is in on it, and basically. They don't kill him right in that moment. They tell him that's too easy, so they about to go torture him and do some other shit. But so that's next season. We're gonna see how that plays into next season. So I don't know. What you think?
I struggle with this story arc because if Autumn had notified Katori prior to them completing filming that she wasn't coming back, I feel like they should have wrote the character Haley off a little bit different. Even if they wanted to bring the character back as a recast, they could have done it a little bit differently where Haley ended up getting kidnapped without Haley being part of the story going forward, at least in season 3. How does Diamond get out of this situation? There's a couple things I think about how Diamond could get out of this situation. One, they put him in the trunk of his own car where he was already preparing a killer kit in the back of his car. Mm-hmm. So when they open that trunk to get him out, maybe Diamond has already patched up his stab wound and he's ready to buck shots. And I need to see Diamond win. I am tired of seeing Diamond. He's supposed to be his badass security. He's supposed to be his
You know what,
badass
Retro? I
military.
never thought about that. Even watching the episode, that will bring me back in.
That's gonna bring me back in. That's what's gonna save me.
Yeah,
I need Diamond to fuck shit up. Excuse me, really. I need Diamond to mess up them. When they open that trunk to get him up out of there, I need Diamond to come out busted.
I agree. I mean, we saw chemicals in that trunk. Like you said,
he
was putting together a whole murder kit. So I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be that easy, even with him being stabbed. I think that's why we got the flashback of the PTSD. I feel like it's almost going to be like an Incredible Hulk moment where he's just going to break. Like, I agree. I don't think it's going to be as easy as they think it's going to be.
Yeah, and that needs to that to me will redeem that storyline. That will get rid of them, and we don't have to go no further with that. Otherwise, if we have to spend half of the season where Diamond is in captive, he's being ransomed off, and now Big Bone's still going to be working in the club on the inside because nobody else knows about this. So, is it going to be a situation where the other dude's going to have Diamond tied up, and Big Bone's going to be back in the club? You know, she's going to be the inside, and they're going to be trying to ransom Uncle Clifford for money to get Diamond back, or to produce Haley, and then do the Pink Posse have to go now look for Haley and bring Haley back in exchange for Diamond. I hope it don't be something like that. I just wish it be that they can clean it up simply by having Diamond, when they open that trunk, Diamond come up and he takes them out, and that's the end of that.
And again, this is me going left field with it. But let's not forget, and I know a lot of things changed because of the way Isaiah Washington left the show, but let's not forget Isaiah Washington had a ring. He was part of the clique. So maybe Andre visiting his father, who was like, maybe all of that comes again. I know I'm going way left field with it, but that could come into play. Maybe Andre talking to his father, he gets some information, he gets some inside scoop or something. Maybe he finds some papers of his uncle. He's still living in the man's house, you know. Maybe he stumbles across some stuff and it's all connected,
right?
Because they got to find a way to bring Andre back into this storyline. Because right now,
because the mayor part of the group too.
Right, he's not the mayor. He doesn't have the connection with Haley. There's no reason for him to be there. So if they're not gonna, they got to find a way to bring him into this storyline, or they might as well just write him off the show. There's no need for him to be there. If it's not going to be him working with Corbin and doing something, I think they could very easily bring that into the story with the fact that, you know, maybe his father was connected. Maybe the person his father killed had something to do with the organization. Maybe it was,
but you know what? We talked about this offline a few times. I'm pissed off about that because, and Xavier, I went back from Sunday's comment. I went back and watched Pussyland again. The dude did not have the same type of ring on that the Deltas had on. It was a different kind of ring. But I went back to look at that because I wanted to see. Xavier was saying on Sunday that the guy in Pussyland, the guy who went through the car wash, had one of those rings on too. But I went back and rewatched the episode. He didn't have that ring. He had a ring on, but it wasn't the same type of ring that they had. Going back to your comment about Isaiah Washington, Mayor Ruffin, he did have that ring on. They did show that. But I think that storyline got scrapped when they wrote his character off or when they killed his character off. But I would have liked to see where they had went.
Yeah. So maybe Andre can be Mississippi's lawyer. She'll need one. That's true.
That would be a good way to keep him in the show. That'll be a good way to keep him in the show.
Because y'all know once they find out Mississippi's in jail and what she's in jail for, they're going to rally. Like they're gonna
the only person that knew about it was Diamond. That's the only person she called.
But that doesn't mean that's the only person that they're gonna find out the girl in jail at some point. It's Chuckalisa. Like it ain't like it's Chuckalisa.
So do you think that
she'll get another phone call and she could call somebody else?
That's right. When she don't hear nothing back from Diamond, she probably is gonna call Uncle Clifford next. But let me ask you this: do you think that Derek is gonna leave her there?
Yeah.
So you don't think he's gonna go get her? You don't think he's gonna have like remorse?
I think eventually he'll go get her, but I think he's gonna try. Because remember, this is all about him controlling her.
Exactly. He can leave her right there where he knows where she's at.
Right. He doesn't want to get rid of Keyshawn. He
wants to
wants
keep her
to
under
control
control.
Keyshawn. So yeah, I think he'll eventually get her out of jail. Now the problem is she don't want to go back. She don't want to go back. But I
So
think
you
he'll
think she's
post
gonna
her
sit
bail.
there for a couple episodes in season 3?
Maybe. It'd be like Mississippi. She'll sit there for a minute. But remember, just like everybody at the jail knew Mississippi from the club, they know. I mean, knew Mercedes from the club. They know Mississippi. I mean, it's Chuckalisa.
Yeah.
So
So
they
word
gonna
gonna get
find
out that
out
she
that
locked
she's in
up. Word
jail.
gonna get out that she locked up, right?
Yeah.
And that'll be a good way to keep Andre around. Andre go be her lawyer. Yep. I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's a good way. All right, y'all. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. That is the end. That is season 2. Like I said, if y'all want to see a season 3, leave the comments in the places that matter. Again, I can't say what will or what won't happen, but leave it in the place that matters. And we'll just keep positive vibes. So here's the thing for season 3. Mercedes has the gym. Mercedes has her daughter, at least temporarily. There's going to be, if there's a season 3, I see there being a custody battle because now Mercedes got money. Mercedes got a legit job.
Shell can go to hell. I'm
And
so her.
Terica's mama got the whole rehab thing. So things actually look good in Mercedes' favor if she decides to take her to court. So there's a storyline there. Lord knows what the hell Patrice is going to be doing as mayor. It's going to be all kinds of shenanigans going on with her as the mayor child.
One thing I want to add to that, really, before you go, I wanted to ask you this earlier. Do you think when Patrice fell down in that chair, was that a little foreshadowing of what her fate is going to be or what her future is going to be like as mayor, that she's in over her head?
I mean, it could because we definitely know she's in over her head.
Yeah, she's in over her head. Patrice ain't gonna be able to run the city.
I was looking at that as a comic relief. I wasn't even looking at that as.
I thought about it as a comic relief too, but then I thought about it when they showed that scene of her and Mercedes, and she was talking about she could wear 2 crowns at the same time, and Mercedes was like, "You're gonna have to let one of these go. You can't run a church and a city at the same time." I didn't. When I look back at that scene again, it kind of almost felt like it was foreshadowing what her fate is getting ready to be. You finessed your way into this, but you took off more than you can chew. You got these people snowed in the church, but running the city is a little bit more different responsibility. So I just wonder if that was a little foreshadowing that she's going to be in over her head.
Maybe. I mean, I could definitely see that being because I mean, like you said, I took it as comic relief, but it could be the same. It could be 2 things at the same time: the comic relief and yes, because she's definitely in over her head. I mean,
she's in over her head.
Child.
Mayor Bishop.
Eventually in jail, she's gonna have to remove that makeup and reveal those bruises. She could make a case for being a battered woman. That's true. Now that is true. That is true. That when that makeup come off and they see those bruises, that's valid.
Yeah, because she still had bruises even the night she was dancing because she would put makeup on it when she sat down at the vanity.
I mean, they have all kinds of witnesses. I mean, and again, it depends on how much credit you want to give a bunch of strippers, but they've got all of the proof in the world that the girl been coming to work with all kinds of bruises and stuff. I mean, all of them could testify to it, but again, they just gonna have to sort all of that out.
She called the wrong person. She should have called Wody. And Wody would have took care of everything. She should have called Wody.
No, she should have called Uncle Clifford, and Uncle Clifford would have worked it out so that Diamond could take care of it, but it would have been on the backside.
Or send Big L since Big
Wody
L
was the answer. Wody could take care of everything.
Wody would have took care of everything, including the removal of the body. Call Wody. I actually kind of wanted her and Wody to link up a little bit. I actually wanted to see that.
I don't know. Wody a wild card because he's another one that I can't figure out.
Well, I think there's going to be beef between Wody and Lil Murder for sure. I definitely think there's going to be beef between the 2 of them behind Lil Murder's decision. So it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here first, so we'll see.
All right, y'all. Well, hopefully it won't take 2 years. We don't have, a shutdown and all that good stuff. So hopefully if they do bring it back for season 3, it won't be too long, maybe this summer, 6 months. So we'll be looking out for that announcement. We'll make the announcement on the community wall, my community wall, TSF community wall, If we hear the word one way or the other, whether it's good news or bad news, we'll let y'all know. Don't forget Raising Canaan. TFC is reviewing Raising Canaan. I'm still behind on my reviews. I kind of took the last couple of days. I was going to start posting reviews yesterday, but y'all, I just was chilling. I'm gonna be honest. I was just chilling today too. So look for reviews starting tomorrow for me to try to get caught up on all the stuff I gotta get caught up on. But honestly, I was just getting back in town, getting my sleeping pattern back on track, and just relaxing. Like I did a lot of wear and tear on my body, and I've been just tired. Like my legs have been shot.
Because
So
you're old.
I'm old and I'm fat, okay? And I did a lot of walking. a lot. Like I'm just not used to doing that much walking, child. It was a lot. But yeah, so tomorrow y'all will get some reviews. And anybody else want to say anything? Any final words? Retro?
No. We'll be back Sunday, Raising Canaan. We'll
All
see
right.
what's going on over there in the Power Universe.
Okay, Jack, any final words?
Appreciate you letting us on your platform to do this review. And we will see y'all Sunday, Raising Katie.
All right. And I will pay Juggernaut publicly on the panel on Sunday. So we watch him gloat. I'm sure he'll be smiling from ear to ear. All right. I'll talk to y'all later.
Peace y'all.